We start tonight with breaking news on the Oregon coast. Lincoln City Police and North Lincoln firefighters are on the scene of an active brush fire caused by fireworks. This is on Beach Hillside alongside Southwest Coach Avenue. No evacuations have been ordered, but the road is shut down. Thank you for joining us at 11. I'm Evan Watson. We're also following a homicide investigation out of Thurston County, Washington. An Olympia man is dead, and so is the primary suspect in his death after he was arrested by police. This started after sheriff's deputies were called to investigate a death near a golf club in Olympia. Later that night, detectives found and arrested a 26-year-old man in Longview who was both a relative and roommate of the victim. Soon after his arrest, the 26-year-old suffered what deputies described as a medical emergency. Thurston County deputies say they found items with the suspect that may have contributed to his medical emergency, and they also linked him to the homicide. Portland police are searching for the person who shot and injured a man this morning in southeast Portland. Officers responded to a report of shots near southeast Washington and Grand just after 6 this morning. A short time later, the victim arrived at a hospital, and that man is expected to survive his injuries. No one has been arrested, and police ask witnesses to share what they know. To an update now on a wildfire that broke out Friday near the eastern end of the gorge. The impacted area of the Crawford Oaks fire has been downgraded to level 1 get ready notice. The fire has been burning a few miles northeast of the Dalles on the Washington side of the Columbia. State Route 14 is open, with vehicles being escorted through the section closest to the fire. I-84 on the Oregon side is still a good alternative, of course. So far, the fire has burned about 380 acres. Taking a live look now over the Rose City, which just wrapped up its fireworks display to cap off the Waterfront Blues Festival and tonight's 4th of July festivities. We'll show you some of that in a moment, but first, a quick check on the weather with meteorologist Joe Ranieri. Hey, Joe, happy 4th. How are things looking tomorrow for people with plans? Happy
4th to you, Evan. Tomorrow is looking just as nice. In fact, I'd call tomorrow a little bit better. You're not going to be dealing with the cloud cover sticking around as much as we did. Live look now downtown Portland. We're looking from our Pioneer Park building camera at clear skies with a temperature of 65 degrees, and the winds are pretty light. We topped out in the upper 70s. Now 79 degrees is the average high for the early part of July. So we start off the month with the average about 78 degrees, and by the end of the month we'll be seeing our averages at 84 degrees. So kind of a nice start to the holiday weekend over in the Dalles. You topped out in the upper 80s. Along the Oregon coast, temperatures were in the mid to the upper 60s. Tomorrow, brief morning clouds, and then I'd say by 10 o'clock or so in the morning we'll start to see the sunshine really make a appearance for a good portion of the day. So clear skies is what I'm calling it. A little bit warmer with daytime highs in the low 80s. Sunrise tomorrow at 5:28, sunset at 9:02, and this ridge of high pressure is going to be in place for the next couple of days. So don't see any major changes moving on, and that means very comfortable conditions for the early part of July. I'll talk more about that in just a few minutes.
Great. Thank you, Joe.
Having a wonderful time celebrating. Had to, of course, get a hot dog before, Can't be a 4th of July without a hot dog.
We've gone on a lot of rides so far.
All
of them.
Adrenaline Peak is like the greatest roller coaster in the world.
A big crowd and a lot of excitement tonight at Oaks Park for several reasons, in part to see just one of fireworks shows held across the region tonight. The amusement park stayed open late as part of the holiday festivities. At 10, it was the main event, a fireworks display from a barge on the river. One Oaks Park representative told us they saw their largest crowd post-COVID pandemic. Here's a look from our Rose City Sky camera showing Portland's other big display from tonight along the waterfront. This one capping off not only the 4th, but the Waterfront Blues Festival. Events happening across the state included local parades earlier today before the sun set and the skies lit up with fireworks. Jake Holter brings us a wrap of some of those celebrations.
When I'm doing this, I'm going to blow my whistle.
In the small enclave of Maywood Park Saturday morning, it seemed like more people were in the 4th of July parade than watching it.
The community is the parade.
Quick loop around a few blocks, but a perfect encapsulation of how Independence Day brings a community together.
It gives the little kids a chance to be in a parade that probably would never have that chance.
Down in Happy Valley, a parade on a much larger scale. Some of resident Deidre Cochran's kids are in the parade.
I think once the kids are of an age when they can actually participate and kind of capture some of the excitement of the day, that's kind of what makes it all so fun for everyone.
Some older kids on a float of their own as part of Happy Valley's Youth Council, sharing smiles and candy with the community.
It's just really cool because we're like celebrating our amazing country, and it's a really big deal that it's been around for so long. It's just an amazing feeling. I like seeing my friends on like the side and throwing candy at them, and honestly just cheering people's days up with candy.
Of course, those celebrations, just a sample of them today, and while many first responders are working today, some got to spend time in the community, like the Clackamas County Sheriff's Office, attending parades in Canby, Estacada, and Molalla. In Skamania County, members of Fire District 4 handed out candy to kids as part of the American Legion Children's Parade. After the parade, there was a cookout with a raffle and a dunk tank. And back in Portland, members of the fire and rescue team took part in a bicycle parade in the Laurelhurst neighborhood. Among the people taking part in today's festivities are some of the nation's newest citizens. Earlier today, under Seattle's Space Needle, 250 people took an oath they'd spent years working toward. Their new citizenship required multiple applications, background checks, and interviews.
The whole family's getting sworn in today. It's been a long journey, a long process.
The world is crazy right now, and this is such a hopeful thing that people still want to be here and to be here permanently.
These new Americans clapping and cheering coming from every corner of the world. You may have heard a roar in the skies earlier today. A viewer from Depot Bay sent us a clip showing the 142nd Wing of the Portland Air National Guard conducting its annual 4th of July flyovers, coinciding with ceremonies throughout our region. Here's a different clip from 2020 showing their perspective of the event. They started over Lake Oswego this year just after 10 this morning and ended above McMinnville around noon. With the ongoing weekend celebrations, local ER doctors are sharing safety reminders so you're not visiting them during the 4th. Kaiser Permanente doctors are urging people to keep boating safety in mind if you're heading out on the water tomorrow. Health officials say drinking and boating can be just as dangerous as drinking and driving. Not only that, they're also reminding the public that Oregon waters can, of course, stay very cold, even when it feels warm outside. And if you're headed to a river or the coast, keeping that cold shock in mind could help you keep you safe before you jump in.
That's really shocking to a person's system, and people can die and do every year in the Northwest that way because the transition to that cold is so stunning. People think that being an accomplished swimmer is enough, and it's not when you subject the body to that.
Health officials say whether it's a burn from a firework or an injury on the water, don't wait too long to get medical help. Waiting can make that injury worse. And proof that firework safety applies to all ages, Canby Fire District had to put out a grass fire along Highway 99 East because of fireworks reportedly thrown by some juveniles from a nearby bridge. This holiday weekend, local police are working to keep area roads safe. Portland police say the Bureau is increasing its staffing and will be on the lookout for impaired drivers tonight.
Alcohol is traditionally a part of the 4th of July celebration for a lot of people. We just ask people to be very mindful that if they're impaired, they shouldn't be driving. They should have a plan to get home. We want to make sure that everyone gets home safely.
A reminder, of course, consumer fireworks are entirely banned in Portland and the city of Vancouver, along with some other jurisdictions, though you shouldn't call 911, authorities say, unless it's an urgent and life-threatening situation. Portland, for example, instead points people to 311 and the city's firework reporting website if people want to submit a report. Fire investigators warn anyone who starts a fire connected to fireworks could face heavy fines and jail time and potentially have to pay for the cost of fighting that fire.